Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to brothers pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Now this video is fair use. There's no monetary compensation for this video. I just want to show, man, Esau knows. And we'll go into the scriptures real quick. It's going to be a quick video real quick, so...
Tonight, we get a first look at a new documentary on UAPs and what government officials may know about top-secret programs on the subject. It features testimony from 34 high-ranking government officials. My colleague Brett Baer speaks with the director and producer of The Age of Disclosure.
We've had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
They have both deactivated and activated nuclear weapons with both the United States and Russia.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
The UAP activity surrounding nuclear weapons is not a historic issue. It's an ongoing issue. Well, joining us now to talk about his new film, The Age of Disclosure, is director and producer Dan Farah. He says the documentary reveals an 80-year cover-up of non-human intelligent life and a secret war among major nations to reverse engineer advanced technology of non-human origin. The film will be released in select theaters in New York, Washington, and Los Angeles on November 21st. Also available worldwide to purchase and rent on Prime Video. Dan, thanks for being here. You've been working on this for more than 3 years, and you say this is going to be a groundbreaking documentary.
Yeah. I interviewed 34 extremely high-level military government intelligence officials who all have direct knowledge of this issue. Much of what they know is classified, but in this film, they break their silence on what they can lawfully disclose.
I mean, there's a lot of skepticism, as you know. There's a lot of stigmatism about this issue. But as you're talking to all of these people and you're building these blocks for this movie, you get to the point where it's not a matter of if it's happening or if it's real.
Yeah, so every single person I interviewed made it very clear that it was no longer a question of whether this was a real situation. It's a very real situation.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe. Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone. Non-human intelligence exists. UAPs are real. They're here, and they're not human.
The questions now are, who's controlling these UAP? Where do they come from? And what is their intention?
This sounds, it's hard for everybody to digest. And an 80-year cover-up with a country that keeps it deep and dark, and it hasn't gotten out. Absolutely not alone. Non-human intelligence exists. UAPs are real. They're here, and they're not human.
The questions now are, who's controlling these UAP? Where do they come from? And what is their intention?
This sounds, it's hard for everybody to digest.
All right, so you want the video, you could just type it in YouTube, but the question is, they have questions, but we have answers. The prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. We have answers. We know what they're coming for. We know why we know that they exist. We know who they are. We know what they're coming for. We know what they're going to do. And we have the scriptures to back it up. And we just prophesy, say before it happens. All right. And that's the beautiful thing about being an Israelite. In particular, the beautiful thing about being a prophet. And ultimately, it's he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Because you have to endure until the end to be saved, okay, of these chariots, which they're not UAPs. We can identify them, and we can go to the scriptures and identify them. And we can tell you, according to the scriptures, what they're going to come to do. All right, so I'm going to bring out a few scriptures, to convey this point, okay? Now, I'm going to start at the book of Zechariah 5. I'm going to start at 1. It says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes, because the prophets always saw the chariots. Even in the ancient depictions, of art, Israelites, all right, depicted in their art, the chariots of the Lord, okay? You also have what the slaves used to sing in the fields, while Master was, enjoying, the product and the fruit that the Israelites were bringing in while they were tilling the fields. All right, they would sing, swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry us home. All right, and that's what's coming. All right. So it says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. All right, chariots, they call them UAPs, UFOs. But in the scriptures they're mentioned, they're looked at as, they say chariots, the chariot of the Lord. You have a flying roll, okay, a cloud. All right. These are code names in the scriptures. All right. And they possess technology that this world can't even fathom. Even though they try to duplicate it on a level, it will never be on the level of the angels of the Lord, because they're the angels of the Lord. And these chariots, in these vehicles, they're the angels of the Lord. Okay. It says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. All right, because they have mentioned it's not if, but when. All right, it's only a matter of time before they invade, just like my man Green Lantern, invasion. All right, they're going to invade the earth. Okay, and like the scriptures say, this is the curse. It says, then said he unto me, verse 3, this is the curse, okay, that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it. And who is the one that stealeth? All right, how did Esau establish this land in particular? He got it by rape, robbery, and murder, stolen. Okay, so this is his curse. All right, not only his curse, but the curse of the nations that are in confederacy or in league with Esau, Edom. Okay, it says, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side, according to it. And I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, then he said to me, this scroll contains the curse that is going out over the entire land. One side of the scroll says that those who steal will be bad. Yeah, I'm going to read that though. Verse 4 says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. So these chariots are going to enter into the house of the thief. All right. And into the house of him that sware falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stone thereof. Okay, so when these chariots come, it's going to come upon the people, all right, who the Lord has, what scriptures say, the sword shall be bathed in heaven, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is the Lord's curse to judgment. All right. The controversy of the earth and who, is in power and who's the wicked. All right. They're coming to quell the controversy. All right. They're coming to take the wicked out of power. All right. Let me get the book of Revelation 1. Revelation 1 and 7. All right, with Yahushua coming on the major mothership, which in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, or maybe the 7th chapter, one or the other speaks about one of those chariots being the size of a mountain. All right, when Ezra looked up at it. Okay, Revelation 1 and 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, all right, which that's another code word for the chariots. All right. And Esau knows this, man. They make these documentaries like the top elites know this, man. All right. The top elites know this. You've had over 30 individuals in high positions within the military. They know about the chariots. Okay. And to the point where there's a space force. All right. And they monitor the heavens. All right. So NASA and these other nations are monitoring the heavens, observing these chariots and the movements of the chariots. Okay? And the main chariot that they're waiting for is the one I'm speaking of in the book of Revelation. Revelation 1 and 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. All right? So, because when these chariots come, especially when Yahushua comes, all right, they're not coming to bring forth flowers and coming to bring forth peace. All right. Yahushua said he coming to bring forth a sword. All right. And he's going to bring forth that sword. And he's going to make light work in taking you Edomites and you other nations out of power. Okay. And he says all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of them, because they're going to be beaming out chariots of fire. Okay, they're going to be beaming out concentrated fire from those chariots. All right, that could be found in the book of towards the end of the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right, Now, their work is to come to destroy Babylon, Yahweh Shai, all right, and the angels, okay? And it speaks about that in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. This is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. I'm going to start around, let me see. I will start. I'll start at verse 30, 37. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 15 and 37. It says, and there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. Yeah, when they see these chariots coming, man, they're going to be afraid. All right, when these chariots come in masses. All right. It says, and then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north and another part from the west. And strong winds shall rise from the east and shall open it. And the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear towards the east and west wind shall be destroyed. And great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath. And the star, those is the angels and Yahweh Shai. All right, when you go into the book of Numbers, it talks about Yahweh Shai being the star. Okay. It says, the great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star, it says, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein. And they shall pour out over every high and eminent place an horrible star, fire and hail and flying swords, and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon, and make her afraid. They shall come to her and besiege her. So when these chariots come, when these UFOs come, all right, they're coming as a great, powerful force from on high. All right, to take you Edomites out of power. All right, that's why you have to address this situation that you can't win. Okay, you're going to be confronted in these last days, especially when you get fully underway. You're in the thick of it, of shedding the blood of the children of Israel, especially touching the prophets. All right, that's when you're going to trigger the angels of the Lord to come in. You're going to be so naked and caught out there in your bloodthirst of establishing your NWO system, all right, that you're going to be drunken with the blood of Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and implementing that NWO agenda, and putting those devices in them people, all right, and the ones that resist, you're going to just destroy them, okay, to the point where Yahweh Shai and the angels are going to come back quickly, all right, and make a quick riddance of you in 60 minutes. That's why the build up to the anticipation of this event is going to take longer than the actual event that's going to take you out of power. All right, that's why the Lord is long suffering. That's why we have to be patient in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Okay. It says, they shall come to her and besiege her, the star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. All right, that fire, those nuclear missiles, they're going to pull out all that wrath. The chariots, they're going to have the concentrated beams of fire destroying your monuments, your cities, your buildings. All right, then you're going to have the cleanup crew, which is those nuclear missiles, which is another army. All right, that the Heavenly Father is going to assemble, an army of ICBM missiles, or what caliber, or what nation that they have created, the spirit that the Most High put on these different smiths, all right, these different modern day scientists to create these weapons to be used upon Babylon to fulfill the scriptures that are written. Okay. It says, they shall come to her and besiege her, the star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her. Then shall the dust and smoke go up unto the heaven, and all they that be about her shall bewail her. And that's where you get Revelation, the 18th chapter. You know, the nations afar off at the fear of her torment. Okay, because the Most High is going to make a statement when he destroys Babylon the Great. All right, and the nations are going to witness it. And they're going to see the power and the great deliverance of the children of Israel. The true children of Israel, that is. The elect. You know. So I'm going to end the video here. Call halal, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you brothers bringing this truth out in truth and sincerity. Until the next video, shalom.